All right, if you're a marketing manager, you know the game has completely changed. That old, predictable path from a Google search straight to a sale, it's basically gone, replaced by AI chatbots. And that means we need a new map. So today, we're going to break down something called the Geo funnel. It's a full-on framework for understanding, optimizing, and, most importantly, actually measuring how AI search drives revenue for your business. So here's what we're diving into. First, we'll pinpoint the huge new blind spot that AI has created for all of us. Then, I'll introduce you to the Geo funnel, which is the solution. From there, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of optimizing your content for AI, and I'll show you exactly how to track both your visibility and your revenue. And we'll wrap up with one simple, powerful action you can take the second this is over. You know, for the last 20 years, the path was so clear. Someone types a keyword, they click a link, you track the conversion. We had all our tools and systems built around that. But with AI search, that straight line has just vanished. It's created this massive analytics black box. And honestly, if you're still relying on the old tools, you are flying completely blind. Just look at the difference here. It says it all. A classic Google search, it's short, it's choppy, it's all about keywords. But an AI prompt, well, that's a conversation. It's got layers, it's packed with all this crucial detail. We're talking skin type, what benefits they want, even a price range. This level of detail completely changes how information gets found and delivered. And this, right here, leads to the million-dollar questions for every single marketer. When a user asks that super detailed question, where is the AI actually pulling its answers from? And, the big one, how can you possibly see if you're part of that answer? And then track the results. And that is exactly where our new map comes in. We call it the Geo funnel. Think of it as a way to chart the entire journey, starting from that very first prompt and going all the way to a purchase, lighting up all those stages that until now have been totally invisible. So what is the Geo funnel exactly? Simple. It's the path a customer takes from typing a prompt into an AI all the way to taking an action with your brand. But here's the critical difference. Unlike the old SEO funnel you know and love, most of these stages are completely hidden from your current analytics tools. Now, this funnel has 5 main stages. It kicks off with the user prompts and it ends with a user action. That part's familiar. But it's these 3 stages in the middle, query fan-out, retrieval and evaluation, and synthesis and citation, that are the real game changer. This is what's happening inside the AI's brain, and it's where most of us have absolutely zero visibility. Okay, of all these new hidden stages, if there's one you absolutely have to understand, it's query fan-out. Seriously, you can think of it as the secret engine powering AI search. It's this invisible step that is going to completely change how you think about your content strategy. So here's how it actually works. The AI doesn't just go search for that one long, complicated prompt. No way. It deconstructs it. It breaks it down into a bunch of simpler little subqueries, just like you see here. Things like Best Organic Face Serum 2026 or Face Serum under $50 reviews. Suddenly, your goal isn't to rank for that one huge question, it's to be the best answer for all these little fragmented searches. Okay, so now we get it, right? We see the funnel. But how do we actually win? The goal here isn't just to show up in an AI answer. No, the goal is to be cited as the source. Here's the playbook for making that happen. The whole strategy really starts with winning those subqueries. First, you've got to identify the really high-value prompts your customers are using. Then work backwards, reverse engineer the little fragments the AI is likely searching for. And then you build out content clusters that target each one of those tiny pieces using simple, direct language. Next, you have to structure your content so the AI can easily grab what it needs. Answer the question immediately, like in the very first sentence. Use super clear headings that basically match the questions people are asking. And you absolutely have to use structured data. Things like FAQ and product schema, to give the AI a clear roadmap to your information. And what about keeping your content fresh? How important is that really? Well, it's absolutely critical. The data shows that AI systems are a full 3 times more likely to cite content that is less than 3 months old. Think about that. Refreshing your key pages every quarter isn't just good housekeeping anymore. It's a core strategic move for winning in this new world. Here's another really cool insight from the research. The stuff that AI systems really love to cite has a high entity density, over 20% to be exact. So what does that even mean? It just means the AI is actively looking for content that is packed with specifics, names, places, dates, stats, facts. Vague, fluffy content gets ignored. The more data-rich you are, the better. Okay, now for the part that every marketing leader and CFO really cares about, measurement. How do you prove that all this work is actually paying off? Let's walk through how you connect the dots from getting visible in an AI chat all the way to seeing revenue in the bank. This right here is the complete geo-measurement stack. And notice, it's not just one tool, it's a few working together. You need a specialized tool, like Passionfruit Labs, for example, to track your visibility inside the AI itself. Then you use good old GA4 to track the traffic and revenue that comes from those AI mentions. And finally, you use Search Console to see that indirect lift in your branded searches. Let's just boil that down. The AI visibility tool answers the question, hey, are we even showing up? It makes that invisible funnel visible. Then Google Analytics 4 tells you what happens after someone clicks. It tracks the revenue. You absolutely need both to see the whole picture. And you know what? Setting this up in GA4 isn't nearly as hard as it might sound. All you have to do is identify the AI referral sources, create a custom channel group you can call AI Search, and then boom! You can filter your e-commerce reports to see exactly how much revenue is coming from ChatGPT, Perplexity, you name it. Wow, we have covered a ton of ground. We've defined the problem, we've walked through the funnel, we've talked optimization and tracking. Now, let's turn all this theory into action. Here is your first immediate takeaway. As soon as you're done here, pick 10 questions that you know your customers ask all the time. Go type them one by one into ChatGPT and Perplexity. Just make a simple list of where you show up and where you're invisible. And those prompts where you're nowhere to be found, that's your new content roadmap. Start there first. At the end of the day, it all comes down to this simple idea. The brands that are going to win in this new age of AI are the ones who can actually see this new funnel clearly. You simply cannot optimize what you cannot see. And now, with the Geo funnel, you finally have a way to make the invisible visible.